What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir and Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, getting into some MC Ren. Alright, Amir, so today for The Great Debaters, for those who watch, please subscribe to Unique Access. The button's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. And we appreciate you guys' support in getting us this far. Now today, I'm very excited because we're talking about MC Ren, one of the most, if not the most, arguably overlooked rapper in all of rap history. You know, when you come from a group that's got Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre, that is understandable, but please, MC Ren is phenomenal, and I'm glad we're doing his debut solo project today. So, obviously, we've done a lot of stuff on N.W.A. here on The Great Debaters. Please check it out if you haven't already. Here's our complete playlist on Unique Access. You can find a lot of N.W.A. stuff there. But as we get into Kiss My Black Ass, Amir, what were your thoughts realizing you knew Ren had a solo project and you were first getting into him as a solo artist?
So I first heard his solo material. It was from one of those N.W.A. compilations.
Okay.
So N.W.A., as you just stated, they're huge. You know, they had Eazy, they had Dre, they had Q. They obviously had Ren, they obviously had Yella, and their associated acts.
Arabian Prince,
exactly. So there was a compilation, I think it was N.W.A. Legacy Volume 1. They had two of them. They had Volume 1 and they had Volume 2. Volume 1 was also 2 discs, showcasing not only N.W.A. but, some of the family tree, etc., and the spawns of N.W.A. and what would happen after. But
I wish there were many. If not everybody.
It might be the best family tree in all of hip-hop, actually, but that's a topic for another day. But with that being said, I remember Final Frontier was on one of those compilations, and that was actually my introduction to MC Ren's solo discography, which prompted me to buy this EP. With that being said, I already picked one of my songs, and that is Final Frontier. Me just hearing that first, I was like, this is just perfect. MC Ren, this is literally what I was expecting. Just MC Ren going hard as he always does, like he did with N.W.A., particularly like he did on their second album, Brothers for Life. I thought he shined on that album, and it was perfect how he also shined on this song. I think actually, and this is going to come up with my second pick as well, but I just want to touch on it a little bit here. The production on this EP, it's surprisingly, and I don't want to say surprisingly really good, because we had heard MC Ren demolish the instrumentals that Dre and company were providing, Dre, Yella, and the family. But on top of that, Bobcat, DJ Train, they're really doing well, and in particular, Bobcat is providing most of the production on this EP. But on Final Frontier, you listen to that, whew, it is so good. And then on top of that, I love the chorus. It's just putting MC Ren in your face. The black brother that they call Ren. You mess with him, you gotta mess with the Mac 10. And then that's coming from the N.W.A. lyric. I believe it's from the days of way back. So that is awesome. It's just that just coming in your face. You just remember MC Ren right there. The verses, MC Ren's very forceful. He's very aggressive. And then even going to the liner notes, if you look at that where he says, kiss his black ass and the black brother that they call Ren. So it's just you're constantly reminded. I think Final Frontier is such a good song. And it's also a single. So it doesn't have, the appeal of a single per se, in my opinion, but I think it's so great. So
it is great.
Man, that's my first one.
Yeah, that's also one of my picks. The beat, of course, we got the Bridges Over pianos as well. And again, we got to really salute Bobcat for producing every song on here except the one on Kiss My Black Ass. And I just think Bobcat is so phenomenal and such an unsung hero in rap. And it's not, maybe not a coincidence, but they collaborate. Ren and Bobcat just made an amazing project together here with Kiss My Black Ass. And Final Frontier sonically is great, and what it does for me is that it harkens back to the N.W.A, Dre, and Yella productions in the sense that it's very muscular, very strong, very forceful, and powerful, and it just gives Ren this showcase to really just come out swinging like he did on so much of N.W.A's material and be like forceful, gruff, angry, aggressive, you know, just letting it out. And I think Ren is so powerful. He's so powerful, and that's why Outkast shouted him out on Aquemini. Hardest shit since MC Ren.
Yep.
There's a reason. So that's also one of my picks, and we're doing 2 picks here. It's just the EP. It's not a full-length album, but I am going to do a bonus cut. Amir, we got our first picks. What's your second pick?
You know what? At first, Final Frontier was my favorite song off the EP. My favorite song off the EP, though, after listening to it over the years, I would actually say is Right Up My Alley. Man,
Oh my God.
that song, and I was just talking about the beat on Final Frontier. I think this is the best beat on the album with Right Up My Alley.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Dude, literally, listen to this. I mean, this beat aged very well. Bobcat, massive shout out. MC Ren knew how to execute on this beat, and on top of that too, I'm a big sucker for an introduction to a song. That introduction is very, very gutter, and on top of that, MC Ren is saying he's in a sense zone in a body bag, like just to open up the song, and then right when the beat kicks in, he's, oh my god. So he's talking about like prostitution, whores, girls with crabs, even at the age of 15 and 16, you know, all the stuff that happens in the alley. And then he's talking about, you know, like drugs and like I just already mentioned prostitution. Then he's talking about people who aren't from the alley, and some people were from the valley, as it rhymes so cleverly. But, you know, they came in the alley and they thought that they can start shit and they were disrespectful. And then what do you know? People from the alley were getting rounds on them. They were beating them up. They were giving them a taste of what is here in the alley. And so he's really showing the parts of the streets, the parts of where he grew up. He's showing not only the female aspect of it, like in the first verse, and then he's talking about the drugs and the griminess and the violence in the latter verses. And really, he's showing a dark side there, but all this is wow. Okay, so those are the verses. Then you get the chorus with the scratching is excellent. It's so good. And then you're just reminded of like, what is the layer that they add to the chorus? It was like, duh, duh, like, it's so excellent. And I think
like the drum roll too.
Yeah, it's like, pardon our terrible sound effects, but just listen to the song. And you'll know exactly why we're bringing it up. But I think the intro, the build-up, the execution, DJ Bobcat, all of that, it's so great. And also, it's funny too, and this is like a history tidbit that I probably have to do a little bit more research on, but we have Ice Cube, who had DJ Bobcat all over Death Certificate, my personal favorite
LL
album.
too, before that, with Bigger and Deffer, of course.
And obviously, LL had Bobcat as well, but you have Ice Cube, who obviously we had No Vaseline and all that. And then in 1992, to work on this, it's interesting as a fan to hear him on both records, but I'm grateful because Bobcat and Ren was a great matchup. And literally, listen to ZP again. It's not too long. Do yourself a favor, listen to it again. And Right Up My Alley, I want to know if that's people's favorites, because it's my favorite. That's my second track.
Yeah, Right Up My Alley, I think, is the best song on Kiss My Black Ass. And I think because it shows Ren's storytelling ability, which we got starting really for most people with Straight Outta Compton, we get on that album so much of Ren's storytelling and his ability to write and, as they say, paint pictures with his words. Phenomenal. But Right Up My Alley, we see the same thing. And it's just, he's taking it to another dimension where it's obviously not as famous as a Straight Outta Compton or a Gangster or a Fuck the Police type of song, but it's, to me, incredible as well. So MC Ren is great. And then when we look at what Bobcat with the scratching, the, like Amir was saying, the build up, the change of the beats, all these different things that Bobcat sonically did, that we've seen this progression from LL to the Ice Cubes to the MC Rens. He also worked with Tupac and many, many, many others. But Bobcat is so amazing, and I'm just so glad that they were able to do Kiss My Black Ass together, because it really shows that the power of music and how they're able to create this amazing project. Now, since this is an EP, we're only doing 2, but I got a third bonus pick that I wanted to talk about. Now, the bonus track that I wanted to talk about is Hound Dogs, because this is the one that wasn't produced by Bobcat. They sample and use Hollywood Shuffle in it a few times, my favorite movie, so I'm always going to be partial to that. But I also thought that this was an interesting song because lyrically it has Ren focusing on, you know, kind of the Vapors type of theme of like people dismissing him and dissing him and not believing in him when it was girls he was trying to get at that dissed him, or whether it was dudes that just dissed him or didn't believe in his raps because he was cussing and all these different things. To me, it shows kind of this window into time. This is a 92 song, but going back to thinking of the 87, 86, 87, 88 Ren, who would have been writing and, you know, making these songs with N.W.A, and then even in 1992 to look back and say how people weren't believing in him or didn't understand what he was trying to do or what have you. To me, I just thought was a interesting look at what was going on in rap this early on in the game. Because remember, rap on record had only been like 13 or 14 years, even on record at this point. And for Ren to have experienced this superstardom, and he's talking about how people are coming up to him, asking him what's up with Dre, what's up with Q, what's up with this and that, about all of his Ruthless crew. And he was like, I'm not a magazine. Like, I thought that was hilarious. But it just shows you this insight into fame that, you know, obviously later gets explored on a much bigger, more popular way with Eminem's Stand. But it does give you this look into the window of what it is like to be a star. And I thought Ren just did an amazing job of it. And it's a song I think doesn't get a lot of attention, and it uses Hollywood Shuffle. So there's so much greatness on it. And I just think too, MC Ren was one of the producers on it with Torture Chamber and DJ Train. And to me, you know, it just shows Ren's versatility. And also, unlike the rest of Kiss My Black Ass, Hound Dogs, the beat is not nearly as angry or forceful like you hear on even Behind the Scenes, which is kind of a just don't bite it-esque type of song again. And it's just a very powerful project, and I'm very glad that Ren did it, and I'm glad that, you know, it was well received at the time, and I'm glad Amir and I are talking about it. Now, it's just an EP, so hit us in this comment section, give us your top 2 picks. I gave a bonus third pick just because I really love this EP, and I think it deserves it, the extra discussion. But hit us up in the comment section, of course. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it. We appreciate your guys' support. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And thank you, MC Ren and Bobcat and DJ Train. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Torture Chamber 2. We appreciate y'all.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangsta Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangsta Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangsta Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangsta rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on your TV back with N.W.A.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangsta Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangsta Rap in stores now.